This is Absolute Ricky Saints, and you're watching Smart Tank Revolution.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Smart Tank Revolution, where we always kick out at 2. I am your host, the excellence of elocution, Mr. Donnie Wonderful, and I waited intentionally a few days after WrestleMania concluded to see if we were all going to be unified with our thought on the granddaddy of them all. And it seems like we're about 80% there. And what I mean is, I watched night one with my esteemed colleague, Mr. Joey Business. Shout out to Joey Business. We watched that in its entirety from 6 o'clock. One thing I will say is that I did love the fact that the first hour was free on, I believe, ESPN2. So everybody could see it. And I thought that was a smooth move. But then we watched it on the ESPN app, and there were a lot of commercials, as everyone was saying. But then if you didn't see those commercials, you got the visuals saying WrestleMania will return, and then with the countdown going on in the upper right corner. And that did happen a lot. That did happen a lot. The running joke is that the commercials lasted longer than some of the matches. And I didn't realize it until going back and rewatching it. Yeah, like a lot of these matches getting 7-8 minutes. AJ Lee and the man, Becky Lynch, like 8 minutes. All these things under 10 minutes. I am openly criticizing the WWE 4-match format for their PLEs. I don't like it because it's going to be filled with filler material. But with that being said, it does seem that WrestleMania 42 was a huge success financially. I mean, they literally had everything for sale. You got the Slim Jims on the tables, the ring mat filled with sponsors and promotions. And it seems like if TKO is turning a profit, they don't think anything is broken. And I'm not saying that the product itself is broken. I'm just saying give me more of it. In contrast, when we joke about AEW, they seem to give us a buffet when we only wanted a small dessert. Every match is like 20 minutes plus. You know, so I just want a happy medium. And I don't ever believe that WWE had this problem before or had this issue before. But I'm curious to know what those who were live in attendance, what did you guys see? Because of we're watching this in TV land and seeing WrestleMania will resume in X amount of minutes. Sometimes it was 3, sometimes it was seconds. And then there's other people saying that there were so many previews for the Hulk Hogan documentary that they felt like they saw the entire thing because they were like 4 minutes each. What were they doing? What were they doing? The main events were really good. Not to mention the main events after the event was over itself. I mean, goodness gracious, we got to beef up security. Either Vegas or WWE. X-Pac's out here getting assaulted allegedly, or like he had to avoid some type of friction. CM Punk slapping phones out of fans' hands, and I don't blame him for that. I do not blame him for that. CM Punk told us in an interview, don't approach him in airports, hotels, respect his privacy. And I get that fans got happy and wanted a picture, but hey, look, no means no, and that's across the board, or chill out, or whatever they said. The video's out there. I'm pretty sure that you all have seen it, but let's run down. Let me pull up here the matches. WrestleMania 42. WrestleMania 42 results. The production, the background. I love Wikipedia, by the way. I'm going to take a gander here because this is going to also tell me the minutes. Okay, so when it opened up night one, and I will say, actually, I'll get to how I felt about each night at the end of it. But at 6 o'clock, the Usos with L.A. Knight against the Vision and I Show Speed. As an opener, I thought it was questionable, but then I said, okay, if this is free, this is great because I Show Speed has a huge online presence, a huge following. I said, this is on ESPN2 or whatever was on regular television. I may be wrong about that, but I thought that was actually a good move. And you have enough athleticism in there, and aside from I Show Speed, you have actual wrestlers in there. I think they could have. I would have loved for them to go at least another 7 minutes. If they doubled the time, if they would have been able to do that, I think that we would have got more out of this. But it just felt like a Raw match, and then that was followed by Jacob Fatu defeating Drew McIntyre. I was literally about to call him Drew Galloway. But yeah, Jacob Fatu was next up. What was it? It was an unsanctioned match. It was an unsanctioned match, but that got the amount of time that I think it needed. And I think that there was a plethora of matches on this pay-per-view, on this PLE that needed the to hit the 14-minute mark to tell the complete story. Brie Bella with Paige defeated the Irresistible Forces. I love me some Lash Legend. Shout out to Trick. You done got yourself a wifey right there. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. I always jack her name up, but damn, it just seems that when Bayley walks in the ring now for these PLEs, I just don't expect her to win. Like, good Lord, like Bayley's just getting jobbed out. Like, I don't, and that's who I thought was going to win before the return of Paige. And it's good to see Paige again, like this only, whatever. My computer's telling me something. But anyway, it only got about 8 minutes or 9 minutes or whatever the case is. New women's tag team champions, Brie Bella and Paige. Excited to see what becomes of that. I talked about briefly Becky Lynch and AJ Lee only getting a few minutes. They got precisely 8 minutes and 15 seconds. That was followed by Gunther and Seth Rollins, who got the time that they were supposed to get. And I think the formula for a good, comfortable PLE match is around the 14 to 19 minute mark, anywhere between that. Over that, if you're the main event. But the reason why I say that is because anything under that feels like a Raw or SmackDown match, in my opinion. But yeah, the return of Braun Breaker was amazing. Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer. I love that Chilean too. But yeah, 6 minutes and 51 seconds. I just needed more. I just feel like there was some of these matches needed more. And the reason why I feel that I'm saying this is because there was a lot of fluff and filler that we could have cut and could have gave that time to the performers. And I understand that you have to make money. And I understand that making money is the ultimate objective. But not at the cost of cutting the product down. It's like, what are we doing here? Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. 22 minutes, 44 seconds. That's exactly where that needed to be. I do believe, though, man, like that was, I understand that, you have to have a night one main event and then a night two main event. But, damn it, I would have loved to have that match on night two. And then going into CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Night one was just all right to me. Like I it was carried, in my opinion, by Gunther and Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, because outside of them, only Jacob Fatu and Drew only really had enough time to really make the payoff worth it, in my opinion. And then you go into night two, opens up on ESPN again. Obafemi, Brock Lesnar. Now this I knew. We all know Brock Lesnar's not going no damn 10 minutes. We know this. Brock Lesnar's like the king of a 5-minute classic. Him, Goldberg, all that. They the kings. Especially we got two big guys. They don't need that much time. So this is literally the only match that I knew going in that this isn't gonna be long. If you have microwave popcorn, by the time that bag is full, this match is already gonna be itching towards the climax and end. Obafemi wins. Beautiful way. Shout out to Brock Lesnar, who seemingly retired right after, and from what we're hearing is that wasn't in the cards, that wasn't planned, but Brock Lesnar deserved every bit of those "thank you, Brock" chants. I love the Beast. Anytime you hear his music come on, oh, some ish is about to happen. And shout out to Kofi Kingston, who shouted out over Femi that said, "Thanks for avenging me." If you know, you know. the 6-pack ladder match. Javon Evans, hang time. That dude, that man, listen, Javon Evans deserves an NBA contract. That man can jump out the gym. His name should be hang time. Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Rusev, and Rey Mysterio, and Penta, Cero Medio. Whenever you get a bunch of these high flyers, they need the time. That this many wrestlers, they got, remember when I said between 12 and 19? Yeah, 15 minutes, 8 seconds. Great match. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I love how the WWE Universe has really accepted Penta and taken him as a fan favorite. We love Penta on Smart Tank Revolution. That was followed by Trick Williams and Sami Zayn. Another match that felt like a SmackDown match to me. And I just thought that as good as Trick is, I love Trick. As great as Sammy is, it needed more. It just needed more. Why couldn't they get another 7 minutes? Why? I just think it would have made it 10 times better. The Demon Finn Balor defeated Dominic Mysterio in a street fight. 10 minutes, 27 seconds. Good match. It went the way we all thought it would go. Dominic is still the future. I think he can do no wrong. Win, lose, draw, Dominic can do no wrong. I enjoyed seeing the Demon come out. I'm a huge fan of Finn Balor. Let's see what happens next for him after that. Then we got Rhea Ripley defeating my baby, Jade Cargill. And I'm gonna say this. I mean they got 10 minutes. I didn't care. I just wanted to see what Jade was gonna come out in. I was just there for the outfits. Jade's trying. She's trying, but I really, really, really didn't realize, and I underestimated her size, because Rhea Ripley, in my opinion, for a women's wrestler, is huge. I mean, that's what the quintessential women wrestler should look like, Rhea Ripley. And then she stood next to Jade Cargill. I said, good Lord, Jade is a beast. A beast. But, yeah, Rhea Ripley wins again at WrestleMania. Shout out to Rhea Ripley. I'm a fan of both her and Jade. Let's see what goes on from there. And then the For the underling belt, as I used to jokingly call it, Roman Reigns defeats CM Punk 33 minutes and 56 seconds. Anytime Roman Reigns is main eventing, it's going to take a while because he is a master at storytelling. CM Punk can do it all. This was a perfect pair. This was a perfect pair. I love the CM Punk little heelish tactics. I'm gonna take my tape off, throw it. Referee turns around to pick it up, low blow. Ooh, I said, okay, is this was gonna happen here? Traditionally, if you win the Royal Rumble, you're primed to win the world title, and that's why I honestly had no clue what they were gonna do with this match. And the reason why I loved Night 2 as much as I did was because of this match right here. What we saw in the build up to it was essentially press conference after press conference after press conference on Raw. Sometimes it got physical. It ended with the last promo that they shot on each other, where how they hated each other. But this is literally how boxing matches get promoted. They didn't have to wrestle. And then when I saw the physiques of both men, I could tell that they were training. Roman Reigns looked great. CM Punk looked great. Y'all, you call CM Punk old. He older than me. I need to look like that. That he was an excuse remover. Like I mean, physically, they both looked great. They took their training to the next level. It paid off in the ring. It looked great in the ring. This was the highlight of WrestleMania. Roman Reigns, CM Punk. But there were other matches that could have easily stole the show had they got the time. Instead of getting the time in the ring, we saw sponsorships. We saw commercials. And that's the only thing that's really disappointing. You guys let me know how you felt about WrestleMania 42. And if you don't have a passport, I advise you to get one. Because let's see if we can stir up enough noise and ruckus. Let's see if TKO listens to us. And let's see if they fix this by WrestleMania 43 in Saudi. I might fly out there. I don't know. I got to check. Got to check my schedule. I'm a busy man. Aside from that, my final thoughts on the 2-night model. I've been openly against it for WrestleMania, though I can understand it for other events. If you were to do a 2-night Royal Rumble, that would make sense to me. Matches, the preliminaries, all whatever matches they need to be, and then night 1, the Women's Royal Rumble, and then you follow the same formula for Sunday, and then you end, obviously, night 2 with the Men's Royal Rumble. I don't like having the Royal Rumble sandwiched on top of each other. Well, sandwiched. You guys know what I mean. But aside from that, one night's always going to feel more superior than the other. So if you wrestle WrestleMania Saturday, you know, like unless you're stealing the show, by Monday, especially if something crazy happens on night 2, are we going to talk about that? You know, I don't know. I just think that Ariel Helwani actually gave one of the best analogies. You know, you got Game 7 in the NBA Finals. You have the Super Bowl, which is one game. WrestleMania, I think, just needs to be one night. That's how I feel. I agree with him wholeheartedly there. But I rambled long enough. The Tyrant of Tangents is calling it quits on this video. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Check out some of our playlists. We got the Essentials, the Wrestling Narrator, and a bunch of others on there that you may love and enjoy. And let us know. Give us some feedback. Reach out to us. Let us know what you want us to ramble about, and we will gladly appease you, our loyal supporters. Donnie Wonderful for Joey Business. We're signing out. See you guys on the next video.